let's say on a roulette table, you probably have to win like 100 times, to make the same amount of money, like you can do with just one hit in a lottery.
Hello and welcome to the debut episode of the Millionaire Podcast. I'm Maradona, your host, and I'm joined today with our CEO and founder, Mr. Ralph C. Martin, and we are here to change your assumptions about wealth and happiness. And our first topic for today is, why is lottery not gambling?
First of all, thank you very much, Maradona. It's an interesting question actually. If you looking, for example, from the like in the world, actually, like gambling is always contains in these laws, in the gambling rules and regulations, it always includes the lotteries as well. So everybody would assume lottery is obviously gambling.
Correct.
If and the only country, as far as I know, is China. They have like separate laws for gambling in general and for lotteries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's and I mean, historically, it's coming from China. I mean, the first known lottery, or the first known lottery basically is from China, and they invented this for funding the Great Wall.
That's very insightful.
Yeah,
something I really did not know about.
See, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, if you go into the subject and when you're talking about these kind of things, and there's always like some interesting historical facts, and maybe we find another podcast actually where we can talk about these, where it's coming from, and about the past in the lottery industry.
Absolutely, so much to explore right from our first episode.
Yeah, true. So, when it comes now to gambling and lotteries, I always want to make clear that people understand that there are 2 or 3 or even 4 very big differences when it comes to gambling. Okay. Let me start with one very, the easiest or the most important part is probably the addiction. Addiction. I mean, people, when you talk about gambling, and that's why we have the regulations, of course. I mean, governments or entities want to to prevent these kind of, like addiction, that people are getting their monthly salary, and on the second of the month they're already out of money because they went to the casino or online gambling today, of course, like on your mobile phone and all these things. So the addiction is one of the biggest differences. Now, if you picture, for example, like gambling, and I consider like the casino games, the slot machines, like all the games you have like on your mobile phone today or on the computer, poker tournaments, maybe even betting. I mean, betting in some parts of the world is really huge. I mean, on sports, of course.
On sports, it's huge, yes.
So when it comes to this, then like it's always like some kind of entertaining, right? I mean, if you go to a casino, it's fun, like, I mean, you have others, you spend time, so it's also time consuming, or you are bored, you're sitting in the metro or in a bus, and I mean, your ride is whatever, 40 minutes, so you just do a couple of games, right?
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is always like, this is, like where you spend time, it's entertaining, and then what happens? You lose.
Most of the time.
But the next game, if you think about it, is to make your money back.
Yes.
I mean, if you go, for example, to, let's say, horse betting, like, which is like really big in England, for example, or even like in Ireland, they have like really nice horse races and stuff like that. So you go there, you place your bet, and you probably lose. And if you're lucky, you win, of course. But I mean, you probably lose. I mean, but that's exactly, like the second time, you're trying to make a safe bet, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a casino and you have the roulette table, I mean, of course, you can put your, like your chips on the numbers.
Correct.
And but to play safe, you probably take the odds like red, black,
Red,
or
black.
or like things like that. If you lose, there's a system. I mean, obviously it doesn't work, but I tried it myself, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
And I lost a lot of money. But you double your chips, right?
Yes.
So that way, if you win now, you have your losses back.
Correct.
Okay, so but this is already addiction.
Yes.
Because you cannot stop. You go on and on and on and on and on.
In order to recover, or I want to get back the money that I already betted on.
Right.
Yes, you without realizing it becomes an addiction.
Yeah. So okay, so this is like like where gambling is kind of dangerous, because I mean you go on and you have time to spend. It's entertaining. You have fun.
And most of the time, I would prefer going alone.
Yeah.
Leave my family behind.
Right.
Might even leave my friends behind. Be completely disconnected. And
Now, if it comes, for example, to lotteries, there's nothing entertaining. I mean, you buy a ticket on Monday and you wait till Thursday.
but our show is very entertaining.
But the show, especially with you, of course, is entertaining, and it's a must. I
And
mean,
especially with the theme, the way they've curated the show with an insightful topic every episode. Our show is entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
Also.
I mean, okay, I have to admit. I mean, I want to say, like, I mean, really, I mean, that's everybody should see and watch the live draw, the live show on a Thursday.
In
evening.
case you have not, tune in this Thursday, 8 p.m. on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
Okay, so again, like lottery is I mean, it's not fun, it's not entertaining, it's not time consuming. You buy a ticket online, I mean, and that's it basically, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And then you just wait on the outcome, and maybe you go back to your wallet a week later and you see if you won, and if you won, what kind of prize you won. So I mean, that's it. So it's really hard to get addicted to it. I mean, it's because, as I said, it's totally different character of the game.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, why do you play the lottery? I mean, the lottery is you spend a little money and you play to win the most prize, like the jackpot. And in our case, for example, I mean, we are talking about right now 100 million dirhams.
100 million dirhams. The biggest grand prize to be won out there.
Yeah, 100 million dirhams. I mean, that's $25 million almost, or even more.
And you can double it.
Yeah, and you can double it. That's the best part about it, right? I mean, this feature where you can even double it, and then. But that's, I mean, spending so little money to win that big prize, and you never, again, compared to gambling, you never have it. I mean, if you want to win 200 million, let's say, I mean, the most, I mean, 200 million dirhams or $50 million.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no poker tournament, no horse betting or whatever, dog races, casino games with a jackpot of $50 million, right?
Yeah. Also, the end result of a gambling scenario versus buying a green certificate is I not only get a shot at one end result of the grand prize or hitting the jackpot, I also have a chance to win 3 out of 7 numbers, 4 out of 7 numbers, 5 out of 7 numbers, 6 out of 7 numbers. And I get a chance to also participate in the weekly raffle draw. So it's 7 to 8 things that I can still win.
And what you just, keyword you just said is like the green certificate. That's another big issue. Well, let's say issue is the wrong word, but it's another big topic when it comes to lotteries.
Why?
Lotteries have always some kind of social and good cause. True. Gambling doesn't. Wow. I mean, when you look on all these world lotteries, I mean, in each country, almost each country has it. a national lottery or whatever it is, and then they have like the social lotteries as well on the side. So it's always to support something that is important for society. So, for example, supporting the schools, health system, for example. Money is going into the health system, or for the elderly people, for poor people. So, and in our case, obviously, in a very new topic, which is like the environment, and environmental issues. But this is almost actually, I don't even know a lottery that doesn't have this good cause. And this is very important, because that's why lotteries were invented. I mean, as I said before, for the Great Wall, okay, that's more like a business idea. But on the other hand, it's always going there to do something good with the money. If you go to a casino, it's just for the shareholders. Wow. If you do like the horse betting again, or poker tournament, there's no good cause in the, to support.
True.
Would be fun if somebody is giving some money.
And I'd also like to congratulate you on the cause that you've been spearheading with O Millionaire and planting trees. You were invited as one of the key speakers at COP28. There was a beautiful platform for O Millionaire to be on. And how was that experience like, with the whole being invited to the COP28? And it was it was great. It was as you just said, it's a platform where where we were discussing, the whole world was discussing like the future of the planet, the green future of the planet. And I could address this to the people, talking about our O Millionaire lottery, where we are more or less like we needed to fund our Oasis Park project, which is like the 60 million trees in the desert, to store like the CO2. But in this case, one of the topics was always like, how are all these projects funded? Okay.
And yes, you have sponsors, you can generate a little bit of money, but at a certain point, sponsoring stops, or the government doesn't want to pay for it anymore. So you need something like where you can generate like constant funding on this. And the lottery is just one way, but I believe it's one of the smartest ways, where people have like a great opportunity to win a lot of money, and at the same time they're doing something good for the planet.
Yes.
Where people that were listening to our panel, they were excited actually to hear about it.
Wow.
So this was a really good opportunity.
Wow, that's a really insightful topic of how lotteries are so different from gambling, and how you cannot get addicted to it, and how each has its own pros, and there's more cons in the gambling bit. Would there be a message that you would like to give out to the people of not consciously getting addicted to gambling?
Yeah, well, actually, I would like to tell the people that they should be careful when it comes to gambling in general. You need to be aware that the addiction is just very short, away from, or you are very little away from being addicted to gambling, because it's as I said, it's fun, it's entertaining. You want to recover your losses, right away, and you always think like, that you have to win to make money, or to, it's kind of really strange if you look at this, that you have to have like a lot of winnings.
True.
To make big money.
Great.
You have to win, let's say on a roulette table, you probably have to win like 100 times, to make the same amount of money, like you can do with just one hit in a lottery.
Thank you so much for this beautiful answer. Very insightful again. See you for our next topic, which is how can lotteries change your life forever and not gambling.